Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited to have Matt A. West here today. He's the author of Bend, Don't Break, How to Adapt in the New World of Work. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Hey, Georgie, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's so good to see you because I'm so excited about your book. But for those people who don't know of your book yet, can you tell me a little bit about your book?
Absolutely. As you mentioned, it's called Bend, Don't Break. And at its core, it's a book about how to really stay human and grounded in a world that is just changing faster than most of us can keep up. I wanted to write something that met the needs of the people that I talk with. The nature of my job is that I get to speak with a lot of very different and very interesting people all the time. We're talking teams, individuals, executives, junior level professionals. And I hear the same thing all the time, particularly in the last few years. And I'm burnt out. I can't keep up. I'm trying to keep up. And they're not being dramatic. The pace of change at work is endless. It's a lot. Constant pivots, new technologies, new to-dos, do more with less, all of these things. And
Yeah.
so what I wanted to do was to write a practical guide for those people, for anyone who wants to adapt or is being asked to adapt without burning out, selling out, or shutting down.
Matt, I love the sound of this book, but can you talk to us a little bit about what is adaptability?
Absolutely. Before I define adaptability, I think it's important to understand that a lot of times when people say adaptability, what they're meaning is actually flexibility or agility, which are both very important, but they're not the same thing. Think of it this way: flexibility is about being open to change, which is so important. Agility is about the speed you have to be able to pivot and make decisions amidst change. Also, very, very important. But true adaptability is about growth, right? It's the ability to absorb change, to learn from it, to apply new behaviors in ways that are helpful to you and those around you. And it's in an intentional choice that you make to be adaptable. A simple way to think about it is flexibility helps you adjust, agility helps you go, and adaptability helps you to grow. And if you're just the most flexible or agile person in your life or in the workplace, you might just be speeding and changing in all the wrong directions. Adaptability really grounds you in what's most important. I use the metaphor of a tree in the book to talk about adaptability. And I think it works really well because a tree has strong roots, but it also has strong and flexible or adaptable branches. Think of the roots as your values, your purpose, what you choose to ground yourself in. And then the branches are more the mindset or the choices that you make together. That's true adaptability. It helps you to weather a storm, not just fight a storm. A tree doesn't fight a storm. It works through it. It bends in a storm. And that's why I call the book Bend, Don't Break, because true adaptability is learning to bend with change and not break underneath it.
And looking at your background, it looks like you've worked with such great companies. But can you tell me why are you uniquely qualified to write this book?
Yeah, I've spent my career working with lots of really great, really interesting organizations and helping people and leaders and teams and companies navigate change. And we're not talking about the easy kind. We're talking about the messy stuff, right? We're talking about very confusing identity shifting changes. I'm an
Wow.
executive coach, I'm a facilitator and a trainer, and I've been in meetings and conference rooms and boardrooms where people are excited about the future one moment, and then they are totally scared of change the next moment. They're terrified.
Yeah.
I've seen teams go through uh, downsizings. I've seen companies through mergers. full on culture rewrites. Who are we? What's important to us?
Mhm.
And I've seen how the people who adapt really well don't just survive those moments, they actually come out stronger. But if I'm honest, I'm not just teaching this stuff. This comes from a very personal place. I live this stuff. In fact, the first chapter in my book is called The End of Expertise. So I don't want to be the person to say, I am the expert on adaptability. Instead, I'm a student of adaptability. I have often been the very person that I just described, the person who clings on to what they think is most important, who doesn't want to shift, who wants to stick with the old ways. I'm so good at this, so I'm going to keep doing this. And I've mistaken things like persistence and grit, which, by the way, are both great things. But sometimes grit, we're holding on to the wrong things and the world around us is changing. And we're going, I'm going to stick through it because this is the thing. That does not help us to be adaptable. So this book is not written necessarily from a place of expert advice. It's written from experience. It's written from a really human place, both for me personally, as well as someone who's had the opportunity to talk with a lot of people who go through this. It's based on coaching and chatting with hundreds of people and dozens of organizations, but it's also been shaped by my own experiences with adaptability.
Yeah, I love that. And I loved a part of the book you were talking about someone that was known for doing this thing, producing great reports. But then this new software came in and did the reports, and that person was like, well, what about me? And I find that in my job as well, that you're like, no, this is my one thing, or it's hard to let things go because you then I'm maybe taking away my credibility a little bit if I give that to someone else. So that section in those chapters I thought were really, really helpful because that's a scary thing to all of a sudden there's this new tech and it's going to be taking over my job. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not useful anymore.
That's right. And by the way, it's so normal and human to feel what you just described. We as human beings, we define ourselves by
Mhm.
certain things, right?
Yeah.
And over our lives, even when we were young, when we were kids, we defined ourselves by being this person and being able to do this thing. I'm the sports person, or I'm the creative one, or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
These are very normal human things that we do. This book is not intended to say, don't be that. It's intended to help us to rethink a little bit about how we identify ourselves. It's ideally for people who are being asked to change faster than they can breathe, right? And frankly, that's all of us. We're all being asked to change in so many different ways. I wanted to write something that was meant to be a very empathetic and practical guidebook for all of us.
Yeah. And then that kind of answered my next question, which is who is this book good for? It sounds like it's really good for all of us because we're all every
Yeah.
day, even in our personal lives, changing so quickly.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy for me to say this book is for everyone, but
Right.
the truth is, so many of us are being asked to adapt and change. We're being asked to take on new technologies. We're being asked to do more with less. We're talking mid career professionals. We're
Mhm.
wondering if their skills are still relevant. We're talking young professionals who are entering a workplace that is slightly different than what they thought it was going to be. We're
Right.
talking very experienced leaders who are trying to take their teams through transformation or guide people through uncertainty.
Mhm.
It's honestly for anyone who's ever thought, hey, when did work get so complicated?
Mhm.
And I taught with so many people, and that's a lot of people. So whether you're leading people through change or trying to get your organization to change and transform, or you're just trying to stay sane through all the shifts that are being asked of you, the idea behind Bend Don't Break is to give you tools, techniques, exercises, challenges in a way that feels very human, very sustainable. If you've ever felt stuck or frozen or just tired of pretending like you've got it all figured out, and by the way, none of us have it figured out,
No.
then this book is absolutely for you. I could have written a very um, deep academic tome on adaptability, and I
Yeah.
chose not to. That's not what this is. It's meant to be a very human, approachable book about how to adapt, flex, and change in the midst of all the change around us.
Yeah, I would agree.